I was feeling kind of lonely in here. Mm-hmm. So thank goodness that Greg Powers is here.
What's up?
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Thanks for hopping in.
Hi, Pickle. Bless you.
Wow.
Thank you.
You make her sick. Obviously.
That's not true. Hi,
I know. I was
Powers.
like getting ready to do my warmest like welcome to
I know,
Pickle,
I'm
like
sorry.
looking into the
And then she's
control
like,
room to say hi.
Man, when the cold fronts start blowing in, the allergies just take me out. So that's not on you.
But you know what never takes anybody out? I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week in Crootin. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our vibes-based director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. He was just sitting here literally dancing to the
What a
theme.
great theme song.
Thank you.
Follow him on Twitter at GPowerScout. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express. The cold front is coming through.
It's gravy time in Texas.
And so you better be coming through. That drive-through.
I've got a good feeling about this week. I'm feeling that the press box is going to be blessed with Chicken Express this week somewhere. I just feel it. I'm going to see Justin Northwest take on South Lake Carroll at Justin ISD Stadium. So that has potential. And then Waxahachie on Friday also has strong Chicken Express potential. I feel like I've been to Waxahachie before and gotten Chicken Express.
Is there a better feeling than walking into a press box and just seeing like a stack of yellow boxes?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Especially when they're all individually like already planned out. Because then I can sneak some of the chicken tendies out of somebody else's box.
This man's over here stealing chicken tendies.
Listen. He's
For the greater good.
He's playing chess. Y'all are playing checkers. Okay. It's This Week in Recruiting with
Keep
Greg
an eye on your rolls.
Greg Powers. Start with our prospect on the rise. Our prospect on the rise, we're going to San Antonio, to East Central High School, to talk about their senior linebacker, Myron Robinson, who is one of the top uncommitted prospects in the state. A lot of the top players in the state have already made commitments. We'll talk about a flip coming up here in a moment. But Myron Robinson, the outstanding linebacker there for East Central, not among them, and he's got a ton of places to choose from, including picking up an offer from Houston this week.
Yeah, that was a big offer, I thought, on his list. And what I like what Houston does when they're evaluating prospects is that they're picking guys who bring a high level of athleticism to the table, and Myron Robinson brings plenty of that. As a matter of fact, East Central has used him a lot on the offensive side of the ball this season at running back, and that's where he's really popped off to me. His defensive highlights that you're watching as I'm speaking about him show off that athleticism because he gets downhill quickly. He has sideline to sideline potential, but in today's modern era of football, a lot of these guys who are offensive stars are the guys that transfer over to play defense full time and really excel. Well, Robinson has a defensive background with the athleticism to flip over and play offense. So I guess you, with him, get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, he is a two-way star, but certainly will stick at the linebacker spot because of just his physicality. And yeah, a ton of offers out there, including some big time offers. You mentioned from ACC, Big 12, some big time offers out there, Pac-12 as well. Very interested to see where he ends up landing there. Myron Robinson, the outstanding linebacker at San Antonio East Central. Let's roll on to our commit of the week, and it may as well be called our flip of the week.
Yeah,
because our commit of the week is Lovejoy wide receiver Dalen McCutcheon, which you saw him a couple weeks ago. And came away thoroughly impressed with the 6 foot, 175-pound, then Florida State commit. I say then because he is now a commit to the Texas Longhorns as he has flipped from the Seminoles to the Horns in a big get for Steve Sarkisian.
What a week for Texas Longhorns fans, right? Drubbing of Oklahoma in the Red River game, and right prior to that, they got the news that Dalen McCutcheon was going to stay in state, flip his commitment from Florida State to Texas. Of course, Texas and SMU were right in the thick of that recruitment when he picked Florida State the first time around. He also took an official visit to Ohio State. But a little bit of a Lovejoy connection in Austin because Dalen McCutcheon is going to be joining a roster that has Parker Livingston on it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, started at Lovejoy last season. It was like a 1-2 combo at wide receiver. I guess it's not. We wouldn't say wide receiver U because they're high school programs,
Wide receiver
but
high?
wide receiver high at Lovejoy because Kyle Parker went to LSU, then Parker Livingston went to Texas. Now you have Dalen McCutcheon. The Leopards are producing a whole lot of skill talent in Lucas right now, and Dalen McCutcheon is next in line. 5'11", 6 foot, 180 pounds, 185 pounds. He runs all the routes in the tree, tremendous hands, knows how to get separation, and to me is a versatile receiver in the fact that he could play inside out or outside in. They pitched him strongly on the DeAndre Moore role in that offense, and he bought into that. So I think he likes the idea or the thought of playing out of that slot position for Steve Sarkisian, which will scheme him open. We saw that on Saturday, and get him the football plenty.
Every time I see Dalen McCutcheon tape, it always feels like he's taking like a route that's supposed to be here. Of course, he's doing a deep shot here, but like a route that's supposed to be like an 8-yard catch, and he's turning it into like an 18-yard catch.
The game's slow for him to me.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like it comes easy. That shouldn't be what you say about a high school football player, but he's so smooth. He plays so balanced and just does what he's supposed to do, and then delivers the big eye-opening type of plays. He's one of those guys you really can't pick his game apart. There isn't a strong weakness.
There's a reason he's the number 20 prospect in the Dave Campbell's
Yeah.
Texas Football Rising Hot 100 at texasfootball.com/recruiting. Let's round it all out with our underclassmen of the week. Our underclassmen of the week, going back to San Antonio, talk about their San Antonio Roosevelt's sophomore offensive lineman, Caden Scott.
Monster.
This young man is probably, I don't have his birth date in front of me, but probably 16 years old if he's a sophomore.
15 maybe, yeah.
Clocking in at 6'8", 280. I'm sorry, 6'8", 290. And he picked up offers this week from Texas, Texas A&M, and Tennessee. Nice little week at the office there for San Antonio Roosevelt's Caden Scott.
Yeah, and San Antonio, I'm naming the notebook this week San Antonio Rising. Mm-hmm. Well, this is one of the guys that's definitely popping off not only in the Lone Star State but across the country, because when you see him on the film, he definitely sticks out like a sore thumb. Big, strong, long. He's a mauler at the point of attack, and now that he picked up some really big offers over the course of like the last 8 to 10 days, he's one of the more heavily pursued guys in the 2027 cycle in the entire Lone Star State, not just in the San Antonio area. Now has offers from the schools that you mentioned, plus Arkansas, Houston, Ole Miss, TCU, Tech, et cetera, et cetera. It'll be interesting to see how his recruitment plays out and how high he climbs in the national rankings. It's not often that you find legit sophomores who are 6'8". You know, like some guys are listed at 6'8", and I feel like when I watch Caden Scott on film, like he gives the feel of a true 6'8" behemoth.
There was a play on his tape a couple plays ago where they were running. He's playing left tackle. They're running GT counter to the left, so the right guard, right tackle are pulling around, and so he's blocking down. Dude, that's not fair. Like, what are we doing here?
I wanted to play these highlights for those that you could hear us and not see the highlights. I wanted to play the highlights that had all three angles, because when it pans to when it cuts to the end zone angle, you can get like a pure appreciation for how big this young fella is. And I'm telling you guys, he's a monster. He looks like Trent Williams out there against high school kids. I mean, that's how big he is. Big, strong, and like his arms are huge.
Yeah, he's a playmaker for sure. Caden Scott, the outstanding sophomore lineman for San Antonio Roosevelt. How'd you feel Texas football tonight went?
Oh, I had a great time with you and, of course, our producer behind the scenes over here sometimes, and sometimes she's on camera, Ashley Pickle. What did you think, Pickle? You're like the expert.
That was awesome. I like having Griv on, always.
Anything? Okay, I was going to lavish him with praise, but she just thinks you were fine.
That's cool.
I thought
There was
you
a
did
lot-
a fantastic job.
How did the power hour go after I left?
It went even better than when you were there. Duh.
He's Greg Powers. our Wally. He's no. Who's the guy who took over for Wally Pipp? It was.
No, you get Wally pipped.
You get Wally pipped.
Yeah.
I'm not Wally pipped. It's just too talented for me to Wally Pipp in.
It's true. We'll be happy to have Ish back, but it was awesome to have you in the studio, man. And we got to do live Crootin Corner.
Live Crootin
That was
Corner
awesome.
rock.
Great. It's a great moment.
I had 2 moments on the show that I felt like I was riding the wave, right? Like Crootin Corner live when we were able to surprise you that it wasn't taped.
I was blown away.
awesome.
This is what I get for not reading the rundown.
And then when I had to break your heart that I can't go to the game with you next week.
That does hurt. Yeah, I was trying to. Trying to plan a boys trip with you, and you're just like, no, man, I'm getting my heart broken.
The
on
reason
live TV.
why, though, I didn't really get a good job of explaining it on the air is that I've already committed to go to the Garland Lakeview Centennial game, and I've already made promises.
Yeah.
So I can't break my word and go back on that now for that game on the beginning. But I thought of this as well. You are my boss. You could just be like, hey, this is the right editorial decision.
Yeah, but I care about you as a person. I want you to be happy.
Well,
we probably don't need multiple people, like too many people out there at Wascom and Big Sandy. Although Wascom got a big win this week.
That was a huge win.
Over Beckville. Anyway, all that's to say, Greg Powers, G Power Scout on Twitter and textfootball.com/recruiting.